Very good evening, friends. I first thank Mr. Prashant. He always takes charge of these videos which normally I post on different subjects and different matters. And he is such a wonderful person that as long as he remains here in my house, the atmosphere of my house becomes a sort of festival. So such people are rare. Why I really quoted Prashant? Even he is here, it looks as if there is a festival in my house. These are the persons who are to be watched. ये लोग हैं जिनको ध्यान से देखना चाहिए, जिनकी उपस्थिति मात्र से खुशी मिलती है, ऐसे लोगों को ढूंढो। स्वामी विवेकानंद कहते थे कि जीवन में बहुत सारे मित्र होना आवश्यक नहीं है, लेकिन जिनसे मित्रता हो उसमें जीवन होना बहुत आवश्यक है। फ्रेंडशिप हो तो लाइवली हो, नहीं तो नहीं हो। फ्रेंडशिप तो बहुत बड़ा टर्म है। Anyway, let us come into some another important thing. I normally see, actually I have been associated with many schools from time to time, and I started to improve the teaching techniques and tried to improve the teaching techniques of the teachers over there. So what I found was that they were not able and not ready to establish connection between teacher and the students. They used to teach a subject as if a stone god is speaking. Children used to listen it, and so sometimes when I cross-examined, I found they never remember anything, they don't get anything, they don't receive anything from the teachers. And by the way, I have put on this kurta and pajama for you people. Got it newly stitched, so that I may at least look a bit of an appealing person to you people, and you may listen me slightly carefully. No, I am not in any kind of contest with people in Bollywood. They have to travel a lot of distance, yet which I have crossed by grace of the lotus feet of my master. So it is the mental technique that allows you to memorize the things. It is the mental technique, the technique of the mind, the peace of the mind, the stability of the mind that allows you to pick up what you have read. You see, there is two-tier configuration. First is whatever you are reading should be able to give interest to you, or you should be interested in that. Now, what happens? You clearly see in your day-to-day routine and matters. Then, what you people are much interested in is to either go outside with friends and enjoy, talk about girls and boys. So, this is one thing. Or you are doing something for your house, these kind of things. These are the things which simply occupy your mind. The loss of inquisitiveness is equivalent to loss of life. So when you people lose the inquisitiveness to know the subject, to find new facts about the universe, about the world, or the subject matter which you are reading, this inquisitiveness is as long as not there, and you are not interested, you are not finding the subject matter to be interested enough, you won't be able to remember it. So what is the solution? Solution is this: read once, read twice, read thrice. If still you are not being able to remember, then read and write. Reading and writing together puts the memory on a higher block. So read and write. And even after that, if you are not being able to grasp, then that subject is not meant for you. Then you start taking initiatives in those directions which are interesting you. The kind of education system we have laid down in India is such that we are constricted and constrained to study books. Those books contain subject matters like about physics and chemistry and mathematics, commerce, whatever. You don't have inquisitiveness about that, fine. Still you have to pass the exam, fine. Now you have to read it, but not really being able to put it in the mind, not being able to memorize it. Then use the technique of reading and writing. Keep on making notes. The moment you take up the subject matter in the form of making notes, your interaction of the mental level becomes deeper. And when an interaction of your mind becomes deeper with the subject matter, then what you get? Then you get better results as far as memorizing the subject is called. Now, even if after that it is not really being received, then my first thing, my dear friends, which I want to say is, you are befooling yourself, you are befooling your parents, you are not having interest, you will not be able to learn, leave it, better do what you are really interested in. Education is not something that should come to us as a bondage. It should really be able to push us down in the direction of our interest. So if the things are not interesting you, then they will not be able to help you either in the way of learning, remembering, or maybe in any other form. So if things are not interesting you sufficiently, it is not for you. Now then I see the middle class families, a lot of my friends are from middle class families. So they purposefully burden the children for reading books which are prototyped by and large. Okay, such a practice is going on, but such a practice won't work. And your child is going to remain underconfident as long as he has not read it and understood it and being able to memorize the gist of the subject. Word to word memorizing is neuro. Those who try to memorize the subject matter word to word, they are neurotics. They are maths. That should never be done. You should understand the gist, and then you should be able to explain whenever you appear in the examination in the form that looks interesting. So it's an entire spectrum. Reading from the book and presenting it to the examiner is an entire spectrum. It begins with the interest. If interest is not there, you can very well change your direction. You can very well change your subject so that they interest you. If they are not interesting, it becomes very difficult to memorize them. But still there is a way out. The way is this, the clumsiness of your mind towards that subject allows you, or not allows you, as I should say, to read it and memorize it. This is the clumsiness between yourself and the book, the subject matter and the book. Now that clumsiness, how can it go? To remove the tension of the mind, release the mind. If there is something like you immediately want to meet a friend or want to talk to a girlfriend, you do that. Then try to read. Does this Does it really helps you? Whether you are really grasping it? Even if no, then you should better go to some other land, because as far as India is concerned, the pattern is by and large like this. Change the subject and learn only those subjects which are interesting enough for you so that you can continue with them. So memorizing is a skill that can be improved by writing, reading and writing. The third step in this is, you have read it, you have tried to make notes by way of writing. The third is, go in front of a mirror and try to speak whatever you have read. This puts further stress, as I should not say stress, but this puts you in an even better position. And when you are in position to speak out whatever you have read, then your level of confidence goes up and up. So now, reading, writing and speaking, these are the three things. You read through eyes, though you don't read through eyes. But then right now I am not discussing Gyan Yoga, I am discussing a general problem of the students. You read through your eyes, you memorize in the mind, you write through your hands, and then you speak it in front of yourself. Now see, when you are speaking in front of yourself, what are the problems, where you are hesitating. Reread it and then again try to deliver the same. This is the pattern. Now there are certain students and great people also, like Swami Vivekananda and Rajneesh, who used to read it once and that was enough. The thing is that their mind was at much higher level of energy. They had the spiritual energy, they had the fountain of the spiritual energy within them, and that energy used to get translated into memory. But you don't know this, you don't know yogas, and even if you know the yoga, then you know only as much as Baba Ramdev has told. But that will not really help much in memories, because even the Western science has established that the memory cannot be improved. But at the same time, it has been realized that through yoga, and Western scientists also accept it, through yoga, you can increase the memory, you can enhance the memory. Now, what is the problem to the memory? Memory is at the apex. Memory is at apex, and how we are leading to a situation that our memory is not working. The real reason is dividedness of focus. Your focus has divided. So, if your focus is really divided, what to do? Now your focus is on your girlfriend, boyfriend, another friend who has bought a good bike, somebody's jeans, somebody's position. So your focus is divided into these many things. Then how to bring the focus back? You start learning and doing the Brahmanat Kriya, Omkar. Oh, for some time. I have already depicted it, but then if you will come personally to me, then I'll let you know. The second thing is pranayama. Pranayama. And the third thing is Namasmaran of the Lord. You do these three things, you make them a part of practice. You should not outrightly start doing these things. You people should consult me before you start doing this. Then I will let you know, depending upon your personal cases, how much and what you have to do. So, there are three basic tools which immensely help the mind to gain the composure, and that are Nad Brahma Kriya, Om, same as Nad Brahma Kriya, Pranayam, and after pranayam, the japa. Japa of which mantra you will do? See, the Bij mantras are Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namo Narayana, and Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Those who are living in family setup, they should spare at least 10 minutes every day in the jap kriya of Om Namah Shivaya. That too, Vakshik jap, the jap by whispering. And if doing all this, still you are not being able to comprehend the subject and memorize it, you are not made for this world, you go somewhere else. Best thing, and that is the one thing which is a great lacuna of our education system, is that we are not really encouraged to understand and learn the topics, the matters, the subject matters of our interest. And more importantly, as I see very clearly these days, is the students, when they go from junior college to senior college, or even at the level of junior college, their entire interest is making girlfriends and boyfriends. This is a sign of depression of the mind. The person who does not have a depressed mind would directly focus himself on the business. But you people, in order to gain some more confidence or peer pressure, you people start finding boyfriend and girlfriend. I'm not being judgmental on that. Good enough. You have found a boyfriend or a girlfriend. Good enough. But now your focus will go in that direction. So if your mind is not suggesting you that at this juncture of your life, when you're 16, 17 and 18, you should first concentrate on studies and focus on it. If your mind is not suggesting this, and if your mind is time and time again asking you in the way that let us go out, let us spend some time with the girlfriend, let us spend some time with the fala XX, YY, ZZ, let us go and eat something, and if it is repeatedly occurring, then you won't be able to study and comprehend the subjects. Because they need imagination. When you try to understand the subject, they need imagination. And your entire imagination is your girlfriend or boyfriend. So, obviously speaking, you have asked your mind or given a mind one such burden, so should I say, or something which you enjoy, but I still call it a burden. When the time is right for making careers, then most of the time you people spend in finding out the ways how to tactfully manage to meet the girlfriend or the boyfriend, how much to talk to them if possible on mobile. If at that age you are not focusing on your studies and careers, you will not be happy and not be supported. There is absolutely no condition from my side and no suggestion from my side whether or not you should go and talk to your girlfriend and boyfriend. But remember, it is the focus of the mind that makes you capable enough to read the subject, take interest in it, and memorize and visualize. So if the focus is lost, the subject is lost, and you will not get anything more than 20-25 marks. So you will fail in the subject. So if you are not interested, much better is to go and do the things of your interest. There are many things which I could discuss because I found them worthwhile discussing during my meditations, but as far as today's lecture is concerned, as far as today's session is concerned, I have only this much to advise. We will pick up some new topic tomorrow to understand and talk, and then we will come to some new conclusion which may be useful to you people, particularly to the students. And your emotional force is so much. Once you have fallen in love with the girlfriend, the boyfriend, your emotional force and emotional machinery is activated to such a level that then studies almost become meaningless to you. You are mistaking a colossal mistake. What kind of mistake? You are mixing the girlfriend or the boyfriend with your career, the subject, and both normally don't go together. So choose an area of focus, choose an area of interest, and start working on that. At least do as good as possible in whatever you are doing. So isoi karmanya abhirata, that is Lord Krishna says. तुम्हारा पढ़ने में मन नहीं लगता, कोई बात नहीं, नहीं लगता. Not a big thing. There are many people who are late risers. Many people late risers, but they are excellent, brilliant. They have shown new ways and new ideas to the world. So focus is entirely important. Somebody asked me how to focus. मैंने कहा तुमको किस चीज पर फोकस करना? बोला आप बताओ. मैंने कहा कि लोग तो कहते हैं कि ईश्वर पर फोकस करना. तो मैंने कहा कि ईश्वर तो सब जगह, उसमें फोकस क्या करना? जो चीज सभी जगह है उसमें क्या तुम फोकस करोगे? तो बोले फिर मैं क्या करूं? मैंने कहा अपने माइंड को रिलैक्स करो, ये जान लो कि तुम खुद उस ईश्वर के अंश हो और उसका नाम स्मरण ध्यान थोड़ा करो. मन अपने आप शांत होने लगेगा. Or when mind will start getting peace and much more peace out of your devotion, love and shraddha for the God, then your memory will certainly improve, even if a bit, not really too much, but it will improve. But you will have to go through the process of trials and tests. I mean, when you start doing Brahma Kriya, when you start doing Pranayam, when you start doing Jap Kriya, after that, after some time, you should really check whether I am being able to grasp and memorize or not. So, memorizing or grasping is basically a byproduct of peaceful and undisturbed mind and memory. So, you see whether you can grasp it or not. Crux is, when you are studying, you should forget every other thing, including the girlfriend. When you reach to the higher stages of meditation, then you will find that your girlfriend is basically an imaginary figure. For a girlfriend, the boyfriend is an imaginary figure. And then I see a lot of shows on the TV and the net. Then both people, including Laila and Majnu, have died for each other. If they are imagination, then why they died for each other? There were better options to live and find out there were better things. Then why they died? This is ignorance. Otherwise, death is something that will automatically come to you. Don't worry, you don't choose it on yourself. Instead, you spend your time in better ideas, pursuing better life, making your performance better. And if you do this thing, you become a source of happiness for rest of the people, and that gives you happiness. That gives you a lot of happiness again, and you get encouraged to do even better. Very simply speaking. So now I should pack up my session with you people, and I'll request Mr. Prashant to come and take charge. And thank you, everybody.